If you guys are enjoying the content here, definitely check out patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Extra episode every week, 4 extra episodes a month. It's only $5 for the whole month. You get 4 extra episodes. That's literally less than a cup of coffee. In today's climate of pay more, get less, we're bringing back pay less, get more. Let's go, champ. Join the Strat Pack. Patreon.com/partywithstrategy for extra content. We'll see you over there. Enjoy the rest of the episode. So what else is going on? I mean, what point of your career are you at? Have you reached the point of like, I hate DJing and I want to quit yet? Because I was there recently.
I think everyone gets there at some point.
You gotta get there.
I've been through that for sure. I think I've kind of made my peace with it. It is what it is. It's still, you know, as far as jobs go, it's pretty good.
It's a great job. It's a good fucking job.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things I don't like. There's a lot of things, you know, I'm kind of over the late nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm spending a lot of time in the outdoors. Obviously, that takes place in the daytime. You got to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd rather not be up till 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock every night. But luckily, I'm not most of the time. I mean, when I'm home in Vegas, I'm pretty much just playing the pools, and that's great. And then I'll come and do these little trips, and it gets crazy for a few days, and then I kind of go back to normal.
Yeah. What's your favorite spot to play out here?
Out here?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like places I've actually played recently.
Yeah. I mean, not to like take away from any other spots that you're playing, but you know, like we all kind of are like, there's certain gigs that we're really looking forward to. Like, damn, I can't wait.
I think Rock Bar is always solid. It's
Yeah.
always packed. It's always high energy. It's a good time. Like you can get away with a lot there.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my favorites.
And that used to be Social 25, right? Is Rock Bar now?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think I've been in there since it's been Rock Bar. I got to go in there.
Oh, okay.
I've been so, you know, I used to go out all the time, every fucking night of the week, trying to put stickers on girls' titties and shit. And now I'm just like, if I'm not DJing, I don't want to go out.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's tough. I used to just be in, you know, when I lived in Chicago, I mean, that was my world. Like, I didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
If I wasn't DJing, I was out. It was like, and it wasn't even about, like, partying, because I never, like, partied that hard compared to most people in Chicago.
Especially DJs.
Especially DJs in Chicago. But I was still out all the time. That was just, like, my world. Everybody I knew, that's what they were doing. Nobody was doing anything before 2 p.m. or whatever. It's like that was our life for sure. And it was fun when I was in my 20s, but like I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah. Do you have to force yourself sometimes to go out and just to like politic and schmooze a little bit,
sure.
wiggle waggle maybe if Gordo was here?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't do it as much as I should, but yeah, I try to pop out once in a while.
Yeah.
If there's something going on.
And in Vegas, Fremont Street's like the dope shit, right? I mean, obviously the big mega clubs are like amazing and all that, but Fremont's like kind of popping right now, and they got like really cool spots, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Fremont is kind of the only place with like standalone bars and clubs that aren't in casinos. I mean, there is like the Fremont Street with all those casinos, but most of the nightlife, all the cool stuff is off of there, and it's like it's really only a couple blocks, but it's all bars and clubs, and they're all like like all the standalone spots. It's kind of more where like locals would go out rather than the Strip. And that's actually where I live. I live like a block off Fremont. So
Nice.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I'm so jealous, bro. I want to live in Vegas or Arizona or somewhere where it doesn't rain, bro. It's been raining here every fucking day.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad. I hate it. It's just depressing. It's horrific. I'm so upset.
It's tough out here, man. Like it's hard for me to imagine anything that would make me want to move back to Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, man, it would have to be
Try living in
something
Houston.
insane.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I was about to ask, because you're one of, you left and came back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened down there?
Bro, have you ever been to Houston?
I've been there, but I've only spent like a few days, so I don't really know.
It's just not a great time.
Okay.
I don't love the city itself. I don't like the people much. I don't like the nightlife. I don't like the lifestyle. I don't like the culture. It was just it ran me down. It ran me down hard. I was out there obviously for COVID, so that was cool because they were open. I do like that. Texas, there's some definite perks of Texas, and their extra freedom loving American ways. That's a big perk. But outside of that, Houston was a little rough, and I stayed for a long time because I was getting money, and I was like, this money's fantastic, and I'm just gonna stack it. I'm just gonna get it all while I can. Yeah. And then I hit a point where I'm like, I can't, like, it's not worth it anymore.
For sure.
I hate myself. I hate my life. I have money, but like, what else do I have? So I had to come back.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's not everything. I mean, if it was all about money, I don't know if I'd be living in Vegas. I mean, I could probably work more in Chicago still, but
no way. There's so many spots in Vegas.
There's a lot of work in Vegas. It's tough to get in, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even like outside of the Strip?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Vegas is the nightlife and the day life, or whatever you want to call it. It's very corporate. So it's not like you can just go out to the clubs and hang out with your DJ buddies and run into the managers and the bookers and meet everyone. Like, that's how it was out here in Chicago. You just go out all the time. You end up meeting everyone, whether you're even trying to or not. You just go out and you find everyone. In Vegas, I mean, most of the people booking the DJs, they're working in the office 9 to 5, and you don't know where they are. Nobody knows where they are. You can't find those people. They don't know what's going on in the club, which also creates some very weird situations because they don't even understand what they're doing because they're not at the clubs.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's it takes a long time to really like to break in there, and it's a strange scene for sure. But that being said, yeah, there's DJs 24/7. I mean, the Flamingo pool that I play at is 7 days a week. Last year I was a resident on Mondays, so I don't know any other place where you're gonna make money DJing on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, Monday afternoon. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, that's tight. I always just felt like there was so much work out there that you move out there and it's inevitable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it's pretty tough. I think once you're in to a certain spot, like, they are big on the residencies. A lot of people have weeklies and stuff like that, which I never really had a lot of out here. Which maybe is also kind of like the way I've presented myself, because I've always kind of pushed the performance aspect. I think when people are looking for a resident, they're typically going for people that are a little more understated, maybe. But yeah, it's tough. And like a lot of these places in Vegas, like when they find somebody they like, they're there like every day. There's people on salary with companies when they play the same club like 3 days a week, and that's all they do. Some of them, that's all they're allowed to do. They're not even allowed to play anywhere else.
Yeah, they're like under contract.
These like consistent things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's tight. So, are you producing a lot of music right now?
Yeah, I'm still producing a lot. Still making like the house dance music for to put out under my own name, and some remixes here and there. Also, like, during pandemic, I made a ton of film music, some of which ended up on some Netflix shows.
Oh, nice. Like the stuff that you just make a bunch of music and then you submit it to the company, and then if they pick your
Yeah.
shit, you get paid.
Yeah,
What's it called?
exactly.
There's a name for it, right?
Like sync licensing.
Sync licensing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I've been making a bunch of music for that too. Like,
that's tight.
yeah, like film type music. I made a bunch of lo-fi stuff because that's also like highly in demand for sync. Definitely trying to move that direction long term. I mean, I've always been serious about production. Even since I was, in high school, I was producing a lot. It's never been like my main source of income, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. I'm definitely trying to move that direction long term. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only way you're gonna make money, like without being on the clock, right? I mean, DJing's good, but you still got to be out there. Like, you get a good placement that could pay you for years and years.
yeah, yeah. That's tight. That is really tight. And when are you just making when you're making music like that, do they tell you kind of what they're looking for, or you're just like making whatever you kind of want with the thought in your mind of like, I could see this on a reality TV show or something?
Most of the stuff I made, there were like briefs that were describing what they were looking for, and then I could go through a bunch of briefs. Like, some of it's stuff that like I'm not able to do, or it's just not in my wheelhouse, or it's like, obviously, if it's like they're looking for a rock track with vocals, like I just don't have the capability of doing that by myself. But anything I felt like I could do, I would like invest some time into that and make a bunch of stuff in that style.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that sort of worked out for me. And then I submit all the EDM stuff too. Some of that stuff's been placed as well.
That's sick. What shows has your music been on?
The one was the soundtrack stuff I did ended up on Spy Ops on Netflix. It's like a documentary series about spies and stuff.
Tight.
That was
Did you watch it and you're like, hell
Yeah,
that's
I
my
found
track.
it. I wanted to like make a whole post about it, but they make it so hard to record Netflix.
Yes.
It's all blocked, and I couldn't. I'm sure somebody can figure out a way around it, but I couldn't figure out how to
Yeah.
get a proper clip of it.
Yeah, I got to imagine that you can feed it, like a HDMI out from your computer
Yeah,
into
you'd
one of
have
these
to.
like ninja fucking recorder things.
Sure, yeah,
I feel like that's
you need
probably
an
the move. But you
external.
can't screen record because I have tried to
Yeah,
screen record Netflix and it just comes out black.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough.
that's funny. What about is there like a preview on YouTube maybe where they used it?
Nah, I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
I'll take another look,
All
but
I do is rip shit off YouTube, bro.
yeah, I mean, shit. All the like dialogue in my 3 style sets, that was all YouTube rips.
Yeah.
All the like the Kanye interviews
Mm-hmm,
and all
mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
That's tight. Um, yeah, I mean, what what song are you most looking forward to play tonight? You got like something that you recently downloaded or something that recently came out where you're like, I can't, like, this is my shit. I can't wait to drop
Tonight,
this.
damn.
Tonight or just in general, like your DJ sets at the moment, you know?
Like one track though.
Like I'll give you an example. Mine is Riz by Abo.
I don't even know what that is.
Bro. It's like some house shit. And it's not that hard. It's not like a big drop or it's like not that hard, but it's so groovy. And if you mix it, it's a risky track because it can fall flat because it's not like a banger. But if you mix it right, if you set it up, if you like play something before it that people like but is not too hype, and then you could go into it and you can catch them with like the groove of the bass, you're fucking in. And then
Okay.
you got them and you're like, yeah, you like this shit. I like this shit. You know what I mean? It's like one of those tracks.
Okay, for sure.
It's so good, bro.
Yeah. Man, I wonder. I mean, I just made a bunch of new like intros. I got this one with Nirvana, "Come as You Are." That's
Tight.
like I feel like that's such a dope song to come out to, because it's not a lot of people are playing that in the club.
That's dope. But you still use an intro every time you do a set?
It depends. Like the stuff I used lately is very quick. So I have a bunch of edits where it's my drop. It says this is Trentino, and then it's just like a swell into an impact into something. So that way I can just I can cut that up, do a little show off a little bit, but it might only be like 4 bars, and then I drop it and we're into the set, we're into music. I like the intro I used to do all the time with the spelling. It was like a loop that spelled my name.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I would do that a lot, but that's like a whole minute. And like a minute doesn't sound like a lot, but in the club, sometimes that would clear the room.
Yeah.
Like I had some disastrous times doing that intro.
Yeah.
It was great. Like most of the time it was okay, but like I definitely remember times where within that minute, like 80% of the room was just left and gone.
Really?
Like, man, people get really impatient at some of these spots. I feel like not out here. That's always been like out west. I have a lot of problems
That's
out
crazy,
in the west.
bro. To clear the room within the first 1 minute of your set, I would die, bro. I would die. How do you even, I would be like, all right, I'm done. Like,
yeah.
You guys didn't like that. I'm going home.
It's hard. Like, I mean, it's not a long time, but man, for some of these spots, they just want constant like vocals they know. You
for sure.
Like, yeah.
It's the Spotify brain, bro. You can't beat them. They want what they want. They get what they want at all times. And when it comes to music, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you're not doing what they want, they're just like, I'm going to go home and put my fucking Spotify on.
100%.
It's crazy. That's what we're up against these days.
For real.
We're up against instant gratification. We're fighting that. And we're also fighting the urge to pull your phone out and disengage from what's actually happening in the room and sink into your Instagram, whether you're even actually thinking about it or not. Like, you know, I don't want to open Instagram and go scroll my timeline, but I just do it. It just happens.
Oh, same.
It's just like I go to put something in my notes app and I pull my phone out and all of a sudden I'm in Instagram.
It's like anytime you're bored, it's like the phone comes out and you're just looking, and I'm like, there's nothing going on here that I need to see anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it for no reason.
It just distracted me.
It's terrible. I wish I didn't have to be on it, you know?
Yeah. It's fucking wild, bro. That's what we're up against as DJs. So you do something for 1 minute that they don't like, that's it.
Yeah, it's over. It would be like 8 bars of scratching, then 8 bars letting the loop play, 8 bars blending, 8 bars scratching out. So at 128, that's a minute.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at the end of that would be like a big drop, you know? But man, I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now my intro is like 10 seconds.
Quick. You adjusted. That's as a good DJ does, you know?
Yeah, you got to do it. And then those are awesome because they double as transition tracks. So anytime I need to jump tempos, you know, occasionally I'll use a transition track, but more often than not, I'm using that stuff because you can just drop out of anything.
Yeah.
Just scratch in that thing, get the drop again, they hear my name again, and then we're into something else.
Yeah. I love a slam transition. I've never been a big fan of a transition track. There's some that are good. And there's like 3 that I have in my computer that I've been playing for the last 10 years that are 10 years old. But then I just love, like, some songs are just set up for you to drop it from the top, no matter what tempo you were at before. Like, I feel like Pop Lock and Drop It's like that. If you come in off that, like,
okay, yeah.
And then also Drake, Nice for What. You drop that from the top, you can be anywhere, and that hits, that comes on. It's like a little reset. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, people don't really understand blends. Like, you can, it's a way of not disrupting the flow, but like sometimes you need to like make
sometimes you
got to
disrupt the flow.
You need a moment. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
That's kind of what like will get somebody away from their distraction. Somebody is on their phone or not paying attention or something, and you do some shit like that, and they're kind of like, "Wait, what's going on?" You know?
Yeah.
And then you regain their attention
Yeah, 100%.
just by doing something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think like a set where you beat match every transition or a set where you slam every transition, those are both not good.
Yeah.
You need to mix it up. You need to do everything. And you know, obviously a lot of DJs learn to do one or the other and then they stop and that's all they do their whole career.
Yeah.
But man, like yeah, the best I think is, you know, you got to be able to do everything.
Yeah, you don't want to be too predictable. You're doing, you know, blend, and you kind of got them. And then once you got them is when you got to take them somewhere else and be like, hey, check this out. I could do this too, you know? But if you just keep doing blends, you're going to lose them. It's going to be predictable. It's going to get boring. I think that's kind of the trick, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You're moving them around. You're shuffling them. You're bringing them over here. You're showing them this. You're showing them that. There's nothing that beats the feeling of being secure and protected while commuting in the city. Kinfolk Concierge is Chicagoland's premier armed chauffeur service. Their expertise range in services that provide VIP, car services, and personal protection. DM with the code STRATEGY or give them a call and let them know you saw this promo on the podcast for 30% off of your next ride. That's a 30% discount. That's a big discount. That makes a $100 ride $70. Don't hesitate to book your next elite level experience. Contact Kinfolk Concierge today. Back to the episode. DJing's fantastic. I'm excited. I'm excited to go DJ tonight.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's always interesting. I mean, kind of like I was saying with drums, like it's more just at this point with DJing, like I'm not learning like crazy new scratches or new juggles or anything like that, but I'm getting deeper and deeper into the psychological aspect of how to play the room, how to play not just to the room, because I say this all the time, but like reading the crowd is useless if you're not reading the guy that booked you. That's the most important person to read.
Yeah.
And often what they want has nothing to do with what the crowd wants. So you really gotta, if you want to play there again, that's who you gotta be paying attention to. But man, it's all these psychological games all night. It's like how you, from the moment you walk up to the door, you know, like they're already judging you on some level, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's what you look like, how you carry yourself, everything. Like that's, especially because DJing's so easy, like all that other stuff becomes way more important.
Mm-hmm. It's fucked up, bro.
It's crazy.
It's fucked up. But I will say that I did one thing that I enjoyed so much is like when I was doing the send nudes thing and like that was my thing, right? I'm a DJ, but like really all people want to see me do is get drunk and have girls on my shoulders and titties out and slapping stickers on asses and like it was this whole other thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm up there DJing as well. So when I was DJing and I was doing a good job and being a good DJ, it would like shock people and they'd be like, oh, damn, like you can actually DJ.
Yeah.
And I love that, like coming in as the underdog, you know, that I do enjoy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I love to see the evolution of your whole marketing, branding, whatever you want to call it. Like,
my life is what it was.
Cool. Well, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm planting vegetables in the backyard with my girlfriend.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
No, it's fantastic. I know. Now I kind of want to like focus more on DJing, but it really does continually haunt me that it doesn't matter. The
Right.
DJing itself doesn't matter. You know, it's a continual mind fuck. It can though, because like you look at a guy like Miles Medina or Jay Espinoza, like those guys are huge, and it's based off of how incredible of DJs they are.
For sure. There's, yeah. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like guaranteed anymore that you just be dope and you're gonna
Right.
succeed. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot more that goes into it, but absolutely.
Yeah. Makes sense. I know. And then I'm like trying to film a reel for Instagram, doing some kind of transition or something, and I'm like, this is cool, but like I'm not fucking Four Color Zach, you know what I'm saying? What's the point? It's fucked up.
Yeah. And some of the stuff you see like blowing up on TikTok and Instagram now, like the DJ stuff is like I don't get it. Like
The most
they're not
basic
doing
shit.
anything.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see that too. It's just like a blend. It's an instrumental, a cappella.
If they're even actually doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just them dancing around to something pre-recorded, which is like crazy. I mean, there's some big acts that still do that. That's like a major part of their marketing.
Yeah, someone asked me to play a Sickic song a couple nights ago, and I'm like, this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
I'm playing this dude's shitty mashup in my set now. I'm horrified with myself.
Yeah. It's crazy. And people love that stuff. They just don't know. They don't get it.
Yeah, it's you kind of sometimes have to put yourself in the mind of somebody who has no idea what is happening.
Right.
Because we understand it and we're trying to like elevate it and be good at it and all these things. And then like last night I was DJing at the strip club, and one of the strippers asked me, because I'm in the DJ booth with the house DJ who's also running the whole stage. He's like getting you're going on next, you're doing this, you're checking in, you're checking out. He's
Okay.
like, so all the strippers are like in, coming back and forth over there. And sometimes they ask me, like they think I'm doing the check-in and check-out and shit. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just DJing. And she's like, you're DJing right now? And I'm like, I have my headphones on. I have a controller in front of me, my laptop. And I'm like, yes, I am. You can't like just look at me and tell that what I'm doing is coming out of the speakers right now. Sometimes you got to remember that like those people exist.
Yeah. And that's most people that are in the club. They just don't know.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's hard. If I just walk into a random club and I don't know like what's going on and I can't see the equipment, a lot of times I don't know what's going on either. I can't tell. Are they blending this live? Was that a transition? Was that two tracks that were already put together beforehand? I'm like, unless I can like see the equipment, like I also might not know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I can, like when I first started and I would really pay attention to the DJs on the radio, I'm listening to like, I remember listening to a lot of Kid Scratch on Power 92, and I'm trying to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'd hear like a Ludacris song over a DMX beat, and I'm like, I know, okay, that's an acapella over an instrumental, but then he starts scratching the next song in, and I'm like, unless he's got 3 turntables, which I don't think is happening, this is pre-recorded. And so I'm trying to like break that down for myself. So I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to learn. I remember asking other people questions and being like, what's going on here? Like other DJs, like, and they're like, I don't know. Like, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know?
We don't know. Nobody knows. Yeah. And I mean, the way venues are set up now, like it's rare you can actually see what the DJ's doing. I mean, yeah. And when you can't see it, I mean, it also makes me like feel strange when I'm trying to do something technical. So I'm like, well, no one can see my hands. So like, what is this really for?
There is, though, I will say, being somebody who scratches a lot, and I think that it is a huge benefit if it's done correctly to scratch, and you kind of see the crowd realize that you're up there like really doing something live, and it gives it that live performance kind of thing. It draws them in a little bit, like you have one song playing and then you loop a one bar of it, and then you cut in the next beat of the next song, and they're kind of like, okay, we're riding now. And then you start scratching that loop, and they kind of understand what's happening, and it gives them more of a live performance thing rather than just like, oh, some guy's up there pressing play. And it kind of draws them in a lot. And it is beneficial for sure to captivating a room, I feel like, if you can hit the right vein.
Yeah, I would hope so. I do think all that stuff would be way more effective if the audience could see your hands.
Yeah.
I mean, they just need to lower the front of the booth a little bit. But
or
of course,
put a mirror behind you.
Or mirror, cameras, whatever. Like, I mean, venues have done that for me before, and that could sometimes be really cool, but that's pretty rare, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like a little bit much to have like a view of the turntables like all over the club. That doesn't always like look the best.
Yeah. It kind of, it's a little weird. I think the mirror is dope though. But then there's a mirror behind you and you kind of forget. And then like you're like on your phone or something. I'm on Twitter, all of a sudden some like porn pops up or something.
For sure.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.